Best armor for the zombie apocalypse.
But first, we'd like to give Charlie a quick shout out for leaving us this comment. We know you guys want more zombie videos to prepare for the outbreak, and we're going to show you what we think is the best armor. Number 10. Chainmail. If you're preparing for the impending zombie apocalypse, finding a quality suit of armor could give you the advantage to survive the outbreak. Humans have made great advancements in armor from the medieval times, but many of these may still prove to be quite useful for protecting yourself in this scenario. Chainmail is a light, effective armor that dates back to the 4th century BC and used in many parts of the world. It uses hundreds of linked metal rings to form a pattern which can be worn. It was used up until the 17th century until gunpowder could fire bullets that could pierce it. Light and flexible, it can certainly prevent piercing weapons such as knives, swords, and arrows to cut the skin. What's interesting about chainmail is that it's still commonly worn by scuba divers to protect themselves from sharks and proven to be effective against their bites. This should theoretically prevent a zombie from being able to bite through it as well, if properly maintained. Something like this Neptune shark suit could prove to be a very good choice of armor. However, there are some questions about the small holes between the links that might cause problems. Number 9. Hockey gear. If you're looking for an affordable way to protect yourself during the zombie apocalypse, no other sport seems to have better equipment for it than hockey. Here we see one style of helmet that has a full cage to cover the face. The helmets are made to protect your brain from the intense impact of hitting the ice. Reimagine the plastic is strong enough to keep zombies from biting through as well. The hockey gloves are well padded, and even though you might not have enough mobility to move your fingers around, you should have no problem gripping a blunt weapon of your choice. The other pads and maybe even the ice skates can prove to be valuable commodities during times of chaos. You could even choose to go with the Jason slasher mask and arm yourself with some type of machete. Number 8. Riot Gear. Somehow, if you're able to come across some Riot Gear, be sure to stock it for the upcoming apocalypse. The Riot Gear we've seen police wear in the past is meant to deal with unruly, out-of-control crowds who will sell for nothing until they get what they want. It almost sounds similar to hordes of zombies. They're often equipped with lightweight, protective padding that allows for good mobility and swinging blunt weapons. The helmets they wear are often masked to protect their eyes and face. Other riot-control police are equipped with gas masks like we see here during a protest in Kiev, which certainly doesn't hurt. Number 7. Scale mail armor. Another invention from our ancestors, it's made in a similar fashion as chainmail, but without the holes in the links. This makes it nearly impossible to penetrate with sharp objects and more resistant to blunt weapons. Not only that, but it's also cheaper to produce. Modern-day bulletproof vests use similar design, which we'll get to later. This was a popular armor chosen by some of the fiercest samurai, as well as Middle Eastern empires. However, like most armor, there is a setback. Scale mail isn't always used for helmets, and sometimes the scales might catch onto something and can be a little bit noisy, so it's hard to say exactly how well it will work during the zombie apocalypse. Number 6. Dogbite Suit. Yes, it's true, this thing can look absolutely ridiculous and uncomfortable, but there's nothing better to prevent yourself from a zombie bite than one of these. Dogbite suits are worn by police officers who train German shepherds on how to attack criminals. While it might not be bulletproof or weapon-proof, zombies are going to primarily rely on scratching, biting, and ripping flesh in whatever way possible, but similar to a dog. This suit can be tested over and over again to prove its durability and resistance against dogs, whose biting pressure is much greater than a human. This protective helmet with a face mask was designed to keep dog bites from penetrating the skin and goes for about $80. However, keep in mind that the suit will not damage the zombie's teeth. Number 5. Bombsquad Suits. Also known as EOD suits, this armored clothing is specifically designed to withstand heavy explosions. With people trying to protect their homes with homemade bombs during the apocalypse, one of these highly advanced bomb suits can prove to be useful for numerous reasons. They're made of tightly woven Kevlar fibers that absorb the impact through the suit instead of the person. Other plates are added made from plastic that is 5 times stronger than steel, so they should withstand the bite of a zombie. It's also made of fire-resistant materials, allowing you to enter a flaming building for looting or scavenging. Of course, there's going to be some setbacks. The suits are rather bulky and aren't really made for you to run fast in. The $27,000 price tag to produce is quite high, and good luck trying to come across one of these. Number 4. The Gillie Suit. Sometimes your best armor is invisibility. If your strategy is to hide out in the woods for a while and do your best to avoid what's left of civilization, you should probably consider going with a Gillie suit instead of bulky armor. These are worn by snipers in the military and hunters in order to resemble foliage. This is a type of clothing made from a net covered in cloth or twine, made to look like you're a bunch of twigs. Once you think you spotted this guy in the Gillie Suit in this photo, it's already too late. This gives survivors a three-dimensional camouflage and doesn't rely on patterns of clothing quite as much. This also makes for a great suit to wear while sniping zombies in wooded areas, but it is completely useless in urban areas or if a zombie is actually attacking you. Number 3. Deep Sea Exosuits. We just don't see any possible way a zombie could be able to defeat someone wearing one of these. This was worn by a deep sea archaeologist while exploring the ancient wreckage off the coast of Greece from the location where the Antikythera mechanism was found. A pressurized diving suit like this is basically its own survival environment that no zombie could ever bite through. It's able to withstand bone-crushing pressure of being 900 feet below the surface of the ocean. The Swiss company Hublot designed this exosuit, which is equipped with powerful LED lights, large claw-like graspers, rotatable joints, and power thrusters, allowing divers to move through the water quickly. The company basically describes it as a wearable submarine. Knowing that zombies can't swim, it would be a perfect thing to have while hiding out on your own island or on a boat. At a price tag at about $1.5 million, we imagine it could withstand a few waves of zombies. Number 2. Dragon Skin. The great thing about this armor is that you don't really need to slay a dragon to recover it. You might be somewhat surprised how available ballistic armor might be during the zombie apocalypse. Government agencies, police, and military forces who have all succumbed to the virus probably left behind their valuable Kevlar armor. However, not all bulletproof armor was built equally, and a new advancement in ballistics resistance has led to Dragon Skin. While not being approved for the military, it is used by high-ranking government officials like the Secret Service and the FBI, so it's gotta be good. The armor uses Kevlar, but also titanium-composed scaled plates, kinda like we saw earlier in the video, capable of withstanding multiple armor-piercing rounds fired from AK-47s and M16s. This is the armor you hope you can find. And number 1, plate armor. And still, the best thing we can use for armor isn't all the fancy Kevlar or bomb-resistant suits, but plate armor that was designed by blacksmiths centuries ago. Many museums could be chock full of this valuable armor, which will make it easy and available to loot. However, it's always recommended to buy one that's been customized to fit yourself. A common misconception is that plate armor is difficult to maneuver in. If it's correctly fitted to your body, it will not make a big difference. Some well-made steel plate armor is strong enough to withstand .22 caliber bullets, handguns, as well as some shotgun blasts. Plate armor is still quieter than its medieval counterparts, and there's no chance a zombie's gonna bite through that. Plate armor is durable and reliable and been used for centuries in battle. A combination of many of these we listed here should help you from becoming zombie food.